Buying or selling a home is one of the biggest decisions that you'll ever make. But what happens when your real estate agent isn't quite up to the task? Today, I'm sharing the top 7 red flags to look for when you are choosing your agent or when you're working with an agent. You deserve a true professional who has your back. So I hope you get some tangible takeaways today and that you'll be able to choose your next agent more wisely after today's video. Hi, I'm Sarah. I am the CEO and team leader of the Elevate team with eXp Realty here in the Charleston and Summerville, South Carolina areas. We pride ourselves on elevating expectations in the industry and provide a boutique experience at every price point. So we would absolutely love to meet you and see if we're a good fit to serve your real estate needs, whether you are buying or selling here in the area. All of our information is in the description and pinned in the comment below. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the 7 red flags. The first red flag is having no online presence. Okay, let's be real. It's 2025. If your agent doesn't have an online presence, then it's likely a red flag. Now, there may be a few exceptions to this. So for example, maybe your agent has been in the industry for 40 years and they're just super old school. Of course, they're going to have a ton of knowledge and wisdom to share, having done this career for so long. And in certain scenarios, they could be a great agent to work with. But by and large, I think that's the exception and not the rule. Most of the time, in my opinion, a great agent also has a great online presence. It doesn't mean that they have to be present on all platforms all of the time. So for example, I'm not on TikTok. I never have been, probably never will be. But you should be able to Google your agent, find a professional looking website, and find them on at least one social media platform that they are consistently posting on. Similarly, what are their online reviews like? Do they even have any? Specifically, I'm talking about Google, but oftentimes you can look at other sites like Zillow or Realtor.com for reviews there. Unless they are a brand new agent, then the agent should have online reviews. I personally have been looking for referral agents before in other parts of the country when I'm trying to connect a client here to a real estate professional in their area to sell their home back there so they can move here, or maybe they are moving out of Charleston and moving to that town. Whatever direction it is, I often am looking for other real estate professionals, and there have been some that sounded great, but then I went to Google them and I couldn't find any reviews at all, and it definitely gave me pause, and often I didn't recommend that agent because I had no third-party evidence to go off of. When you don't know somebody, what do? You go off of objective information like reviews. I mean, I look at reviews all the time, even outside of real estate, for restaurants, for example, and other professional services. Now, we all know to take some reviews with a grain of salt. I mean, sometimes there are people out there that are just angry or rude or have a vendetta against somebody and trying to bring that person down. So don't believe everything you read in a review. But by and large, I definitely believe that you should be able to Google a real estate agent and see the vast majority of very positive reviews about that person. You can also ask a prospective agent for references and people they can call who they've worked with before. I can honestly say that I would be happy for you to call any single client that I've ever worked with to get their honest opinion. I know the great service I provide, and I have had numerous clients offer to be references on my behalf and that they would be happy to talk to prospective clients, and that should really speak for itself. If your potential agent doesn't want you talking to their past clients, then what are they hiding? Red flag number 2 is having limited market knowledge. A great realtor knows the local area well and pays attention to data and market trends. If they don't know what kind of market we're in, for example, is it a buyer's market or a seller's market? If you're a buyer, should you be expecting to compete with multiple offers on a property or not? What are the current days on market? These are all very common things that we realtors pay attention to. So if you're asking an agent that question and they can't answer, or they're giving overly generic or vague answers to those questions, then that's a red flag, because either they're just not paying attention to their chosen career, which is a concern, or they're probably not doing many transactions at all, which is also a concern. You want an active agent who is boots on the ground in the market. If you have an agent over for a listing appointment and they can't tell you about the comparable sales in the neighborhood, then I would question if they are the right fit for you. They should be doing their homework and coming to you as a well-researched resource. Now, we can't know everything about everything, right? There are thousands of neighborhoods in our Tri-County area, and no, I cannot personally tell you every single neighborhood's name and exactly what the amenities are and exactly what the HOA is for thousands of neighborhoods. I know it for some, I don't know it for thousands. So give us some grace, for example, if you are looking in a very large area across many neighborhoods, we might not know every single detail offhand, but we can be proactive and easily find that information out. Also, under this umbrella of market knowledge, I would add having a specific niche as potentially being applicable to your situation. So for example, on our team, we have a lot of different niches. I, for one, know a lot and work with a lot of 55 plus clients and new construction and luxury, whereas another agent on the team works with equestrian properties and has her own investment properties like Airbnbs. So she would be a great reference and agent for people that are looking for equestrian properties who have horses, or that are looking for an Airbnb, whereas I don't have much experience in those categories. If you're looking for a foreclosure, for example, you're going to want to work with an agent that has experience in foreclosures. It's a very specific niche. If you have raw land to sell, you're going to want to work with somebody that has experience with land. If you're wanting a commercial deal, you definitely need to work with a commercial agent. That is a completely different ballgame altogether than residential. My brother is actually here in Charleston, and he's been a commercial agent for 20 years. So if you need a great commercial realtor in the Charleston area, then definitely reach out to me and I'm happy to connect you. But I think you're getting my point. Depending on your goals and needs, there are some agents that are honestly going to be better for you than other agents. Red flag number 3 is a lack of communication. Unfortunately, I hear about this way too often from people who have worked with other agents in the past and are sharing their experiences with me. If your realtor isn't responding to calls, texts, or emails promptly, then that's a real problem. Real estate moves fast, and so should your agent. You should not have to chase them down to get answers about your transaction. Now, of course, a good agent is busy, so it doesn't mean that you should expect that we can respond to every reach out within 30 seconds, or that we can answer the phone every single time that you call, because we are in other engagements. However, you should expect that we will get back to you promptly, especially if you're under contract in the midst of a transaction or are a current client that have signed on with us. I was just on a listing appointment a couple of weeks ago, and this house was listed earlier in the year and didn't sell, so they took it off the market with the last agent they had used. And she told me that this agent, who is very well known in her area, was out of the country for a while, and she didn't hear from him for many weeks. And this is while her home was on the market. Now, of course, everybody needs a vacation sometimes, and going out of town is to be expected. But if you are going to do that as an agent, then you need to ensure that you have a team around you, that you have people in place who are going to be covering for you and staying in communication with your client. You should never just go MIA and go silent, leaving your client waiting for responses. On our team, if we are listing a home, we guarantee a minimum of a once a week check-in where we are providing you with stats and data and feedback and our marketing plan. And in reality, we're in touch more than once a week, but that is the minimum standard that you should expect from anybody that you're working with. I personally believe that having clear communication and prompt communication as a client with your agent is one of the most important things that you need to have in order to have a great experience in your transaction. And I believe that having a team is the way to go about this, because I am only one person. And like I mentioned a moment ago, we are busy and we have a lot going on in our businesses when we have many clients in various points in a transaction. And so we can't do it alone. Yes, you should be able to reach out to your agent, but ideally there's other people that are also dotting I's and crossing T's and there for you. For example, an emergency comes up, or if a new house comes on the market and it's a intense seller's market like we saw during the COVID days, and you need to go see that house right away because you know it's going to go under contract in a day, then you need an agent who is going to be able to be there for you. And that's where, again, the team comes in, that if your agent is busy, which is very possible, then somebody else on the team is going to be able to step in and meet you. On our team, we also have a transaction coordinator. So this is a dedicated person that is ensuring from the time you go under contract all the way through closing that you have somebody else to go to with questions. They are there in the office all day long to send paperwork, get documents executed quickly, and do all kinds of things behind the scenes, again, to ensure that the client has a super smooth and timely experience. So if your agent is solo and doesn't have any type of team or support, that's not necessarily a red flag, because some agents do it independently and they do a great job. But I would still want to know, as a client interviewing that person, what is their workload like? If they have 30 people under contract at the same time, that is a lot to manage by yourself. So you just want to make sure that the agent that you're hiring has adequate time and support for you. Red flag number 4 is the lack of professionalism. I feel like there is a lack of professionalism in this industry, and it is a big complaint among fellow agents and consumers alike. Just like an attorney or a doctor should provide a professional service to you, so should your real estate agent. This doesn't mean it has to feel cold and stuffy like some professional settings do, but there is a general etiquette and decency that should be expected and show that they're taking their role seriously. Things like being on time, dressing appropriately, communicating with you in a timely, kind, respectful, and mature way, just like I was talking about a moment ago. Remembering important details, going above and beyond to be proactive and get things done, and not just getting by or being reactive. And speaking to other agents with respect. If you are with an agent and you overhear any type of conversation they're having with other professionals and they are talking down to that person or being rude, to me, that is a red flag in my book. Red flag number 5 is having no marketing strategy. This is really more for the listing side versus the buying side, but what is your agent doing to market the property? Any agent can list the home on MLS and put a sign in the yard. So what is your agent doing beyond that? What is their overall marketing plan and strategy? Are they personally reaching out to other agents, to neighbors, to prospects who have looked at similar homes? Are they doing some paid advertising or making a YouTube video for your home? What are they doing on other social media platforms? Agents should be using modern tools and getting creative. And don't even get me started on listing photography. My biggest pet peeve is when I see a new listing pop up and I can tell that the agent took photos on their iPhone and popped those up on the MLS instead of hiring a professional photographer to do that job. Please just no, never do that. Never let your agent do that. You deserve so much more. To me, no matter the price point, it's just not okay to not get professional photography. I think it's lazy and cheap not to, and it truly is a minimum standard that you should expect. So definitely ask your agent what they are doing differently to market your home. And this can vary depending on the type of property. For example, something I'm super excited about is being part of eXp Realty's luxury division. This is a platform where I get to showcase luxury homes on a global scale. There is marketing that goes to 70 plus different markets around the globe in different languages. The property gets ads in all kinds of amazing publications like the Wall Street Journal and Mansions Global. They get a unique property website and so much more. In today's day and age, you have buyers coming from all over the world, especially in more international markets. So if your agent isn't utilizing these types of tools, then it could potentially be a disservice to you. Red flag number 6 is over-promising and under-delivering. If you get the feeling when talking to an agent that they are over-promising, then I would be very wary. You may be wondering what some examples of this are. A very common one is that an agent at a listing appointment will tell the seller that they can sell their home for way above market value just to get the listing signed. This is a sleazy way to get business, and I guarantee that it will leave you feeling frustrated and disappointed down the road. Now, of course, I am all for getting you as much money as possible for your home, but you also have to be realistic and price the home where the market is. Otherwise, it is going to sit forever, and those days on market start to go up, and it starts to tarnish the home and the offers that you're going to get. So if you don't actually want to sell your house, then overpricing it is a great strategy. But all of this goes back to the marketing strategies that we talked about earlier, and is definitely something that you need to talk in detail about with your agent to determine what the right price is. Other examples of overpromising and under-delivering could be if an agent guarantees that they're going to sell your home in a week, regardless of market conditions. Some agents may boast about having an extensive network of investors and off-market deals to give themselves an edge, and that it's going to be something you can take advantage of. And while occasionally that might be true, oftentimes this network may never materialize, and really they provided you with no tangible advantage after all. Another example could be if an agent claims to have decades of experience or be a top producer in the area, and yet maybe that's been embellished, and perhaps their lack of skill and knowledge becomes apparent further down the line with poor negotiations, mistakes in paperwork, and a mismanagement of your expectations. Maybe you're a first-time homebuyer and your agent says, yeah, we can find your dream home within your budget and it's not going to be stressful, don't worry about it. But then in reality, they're not finding you suitable properties in your budget, or setting the right expectations, or knowing how to navigate a bidding war, and you're left feeling disappointed. Ultimately, overpromising and under-delivering stems from an agent's insecurities and their desire to just win you as a client without having your best interest in mind, and ultimately it destroys the trust. A good agent provides honest, realistic expectations and follows through with exceptional service. Finally, red flag number 7 is using high pressure tactics. A good realtor will guide you, not push you, because they know that this is your decision, not theirs. I genuinely believe and hold as a core value that what is in your highest good is also in mine, and that your win is my win. If your agent is rushing you to make decisions that you're not comfortable with, then it's time to push the brakes and ask if they're really holding your best interests at heart. Now, sometimes there are very urgent and time-sensitive decisions that need to be made, and it can feel like pressure due to timelines and circumstances. For example, if you have a showing and you love this house and you come to find out that there's already an offer on the table, then yes, that is a high pressure circumstance. Sometimes these situational pressures in real estate are unavoidable, but it's important to discern what is the pressure from the situation versus what could be the pressure from the agent and how they are treating you and their attitude towards you and your decision-making process. Sometimes we do need to give clients a strong nudge in a direction, because our goal ultimately is to get you the outcome that you want. And sometimes we can get scared and maybe start to hesitate and pause even when it is the right thing. But ultimately, the agent should be communicating with you from a place of care, not from a place of stress or icky sales tactics. And I think most of the time that you can tell the difference and just have a gut feeling for how this agent is interacting with you in that moment. Choosing the right realtor can make all of the difference in your buying and selling journey. Keep an eye out for these 7 red flags and trust your instincts when something feels off. If you have personally encountered any of these red flags in your past experiences, leave a comment below with the little red flag emoji. And if you found this video helpful, I would super appreciate it if you like the video and subscribe to the channel so that you can be the first one to know about all things Charleston, as well as general real estate tips like this video here today. If you're looking for an agent and team that puts your needs first, we would absolutely love to help. Once again, all of our contact information is in the description. We would love to meet you and see how we can serve your needs. In the meantime, we also have a weekly newsletter every Thursday that I send out all about the Charleston area with a calendar of upcoming events and business updates and business spotlights and so much more. That is all for free, so you can sign up to our newsletter in the link below if you want to stay plugged in to the local Charleston area. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.